The Kahr CW9. I really like that trigger. This time on gun physics.
Not only do I have my Polar Pop, 32 ounces of Mountain Dew from the Circle K, I also brought my latest Kahr CW9 with a variety of ammunition. I got some steel case Winchester stuff, got some other steel case things, and some aluminum case, and some Perfecta, some remanufactured jacketed hollow points from Freedom Munitions, all kinds of different cases, different loads, different powers. We'll see how this thing goes. It's going to load some of these things up, alternate a couple different kinds, and see how all three of these magazines actually run. Should be a good time. From the seated position, first shots. Feels good. It's 14, all kinds of different loads. Try a different position.
The roll mark's kind of crappy, but I like colors in my guns, and this one, plastic and stainless. Looks pretty good. It's gripply on the front and rear of the grip to help you hold on to it. You can always add grip tape if you really want to. Slide serrations are pretty effective, small external extractor, and you can see the single bar in the middle of that rear metal sight. Slide release, last round hold open, and takedown pin combination. 7-round magazines. Looks like some kind of galvanizing. Got 3 with this used gun. Magazines do drop free, but only when the pistol is vertical. And on that base plate, there are some little finger perches that you can use to clear malfunctions and pull that magazine out. Magazine release is not reversible. Let's get right to it. The trigger's really good, a little bit of take up, and then a smooth, consistent pull all the way to the rear. It's nice. Reset. Striker fired, partially reset by the cycling of the action, so no second strike capacity. This is about 50 rounds in, first trip to the range with my new Kahr.
It's 25 yards, not bad.
I've got old eyes. This is a small gun, and I did better with this one than most other guns I have. Must be the trigger. Takedown is super simplified 1911. Line up that little pinhole right there, and then push it out from the other side. There's a pin on the other side. You can just push it out with your finger and then pull it out the rest of the way. Make sure it's clear, pull the trigger, send off the slide. If you look carefully in the frame, there's a retention spring, and this takedown pin slides right in. There's a little slot at the end of it. Keep it in place. Slides in, snaps in place, bam. And that's the last round hold open, the locking pin, slide release, and the rotating block. I was told that these rails are plastic, and they are, except at the very back there's a little metal insert. Plastic slide rails, they're under minimal stress because what's actually happening is those little tiny rails are hanging onto this dust cover. And those little rails up front, down low, they're the ones that are doing all the work. So don't be concerned about all the plastic slide rails. Interesting detail, the feed ramp is offset to the left-hand side to make room for the trigger. Steel guide rod, single spring, simple system. I had never seen this before in any other firearm, but look at that, slightly offset feed ramp, so that inside, right next to that feed ramp, is a portion of the trigger. So Kahr worked on the trigger first and then made everything else fit. You can see a rotating cam on the back end of the fire control assembly. Gives it a pretty nice trigger. Put it all back together. Last piece is pulling that slide back to push the pin in. You're all done. Check it, make sure it cycles, check the trigger, everything works. Put your loaded magazine in and fire away. On the right-hand side of the frame, I did notice this little insert. Kahr designed these guns around the trigger. That's probably part of it. Almost 15 yards on 12-inch plates. I got better. This is 12 yards, 2 on each. For some reason, and I think it's the trigger, this Kahr CW9 is working really well for me. Highly recommend it.
Hey, thanks for watching Gun Physics. Your thumbs up really helps a lot in the ratings, so thanks for that too. And I've got new videos coming out most Tuesdays. Subscribe for more.